There's a churn in the Indian auto market. For months, it's been flying high, record sales, rising profits, and happy dealers. But looks like someone hit the brakes. Look at the data from the month of July. Car sales fell 2.5% compared to last year, the first drop in more than 2 years. Maruti Suzuki dropped 3.6%, Hyundai dropped 3%, and Tata fell almost 6%. The question is why? What happened to the momentum? Well, experts point to 2 reasons. Number one, the general elections. India voted from mid-April to June, and during this time, the finance rules are very tight. You can't keep or transport too much cash. As a result, auto sales plunged. And reason number 2, the intense heat wave. Reports say footfall at dealerships was down by 15%. Why? Because it was too hot. Now, both these reasons led to a drop in sales. It's a problem for car makers, but it's an even bigger problem for dealers. The dealers say we have too much stock to sell. Let me first introduce the key players here. One is FADA, the Federation of Automobile Dealers Association. They represent 15,000 dealers. The other is SIAM, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers. Basically, you have the producers and the dealers. The dealers say they have too much stock. How many cars are we talking about here? More than 730,000, 730,000 cars lying in stock. That's inventory for more than 2 months. But the car makers say that that's not the case. They claim the stock is half of that, just about 400,000. Do you see the discrepancy here? Maybe it's a computing mistake, maybe it's the result of faulty methodology, but either way, it is a problem. Dealers are not able to sell this much stock. They say producers are dumping cars on them. In fact, FADA has written twice to car makers, both times with the same demand: stop pushing inventory on us. So why are car makers not listening? Dealers say because of over-ambition, every producer is eager to capture more market share. As a result, they are pushing more cars to dealers. The problem may be specific to India, but the larger trend is global. China's car sales also fell in July, that too by almost 10%. Same in the United States. Car sales plunged 2.5%, 2.8% rather, in July. Again, the question is why? You see, 2023 was an aberration for the auto market. We had a lot of pent-up demand from the pandemic, so the car makers had a great time. Compared to 2023, this year was always going to be a dampener. Another reason is the electric pivot. Car makers have set an ambitious target for 2030. They want 30% of their sales to be EVs, electric vehicles. So customers may hold back on purchases. They may want to see this EV revolution unfold. But either way, India's auto market needs a recalibration. You see, China too has surplus stock. But they have a convenient outlet: exports. If people aren't buying at home, they can just export. Just look at the last quarter. China exported almost 400,000 cars. What about India? Around 180,000. That was our export figure, which creates added pressure on the domestic market. Of course, there is some respite around the corner. India's festival season starts next month. It lasts until Diwali in November. Indians tend to buy a lot of cars during this time. And that may ease the pressure a bit. But before we end, let me say this. If you're looking to buy a car, now is a good time. Dealers have too much stock, which means that you should get good discounts. Plus, the waiting time should be shorter. After all, there are 700,000 cars lying in inventory. If your dealer still plays hard, just show them this report.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree. One tree for humanity. One tree for Mother Earth. One tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies.